Recording. Boom! Welcome to the
Boom.
Week 14 BONESTORM review.
View.
There's the
Hey,
Aaron Rodgers.
look at Aaron Rodgers is showing how many vaccines he didn't, or how many shots he didn't get. What?
1, 2, 3.
That's right.
That's good. I like it. That's really good. Yeah, so I put the two most prominent figures just because I laughed at the Aaron Rodgers thing, but the other one is Cooper Kupp above him, who is just killing it for Jason. I'm sure he hopes that will happen this next week. And then down below, Dalvin Cook, not that I needed him to, but destroyed my Steelers, so that was also fun to watch.
Did you start him?
Of course I did.
Oh, that's your fault.
I know, but you
You're
know
to
what?
blame. You are to blame.
Well, whatever. Anyhow, let's get to. Oh, and you see George Kittle up here on the top. I don't know if you watched that game, but that dude owned the defense that day. It was kind of back and forth, but then Kittle just kept catching everything that came his way, and it turned it to where he ended up not single-handedly, but he was a huge reason that they beat Cincinnati in overtime. It was nuts.
And why do you have Cam on there? I did pick him up. Do you?
I just like Cam. I just put him on there because he was down there. And then I put poor Demaryius Thomas. You hear he died?
Who?
Demaryius Thomas. Remember him? He
I did see that. I did see that.
Of a seizure in the shower. They were all talking about rip Demaryius Thomas, but I'm like, how? It was some cardiac thing where he had a seizure in the shower. That's hard to say. Seizure in the shower.
Seizure in the shower?
Sally sells seashells by the seizure shore.
Seizure shore? Okay.
Exactly. All right, let's get to the first. Wait, I'm not in the right.
How's it going? What's up?
You take chips. No, I was just thinking of the kettle chips.
There should be more, the Joe's ones.
The Joe's chips?
The blue bag, there was hardly anything.
No, the Tim's. I don't know what
I don't
it
have
is.
the Tim's. I had the blue ones.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
We're recording.
Yeah,
this is the middle of a show.
Love you, baby. Okay.
All right. Speaking
Looking for kettle chips. That's a priority over here. Okay.
Talk about kettle chips and Cam Newton.
Look at this game. Talk about heartbreak. I did pretty well. Look at Devonta Adams goes off 26.1. Amari Cooper has a decent day. Micah Parsons, my pickup, did well. Carried that team. Always predictable. Austin Eckler doing his thing for a 168. Totally respectable. I over-delivered, but not enough. Terry with Josh Allen, 42. Give me a break.
Insane.
42.
That was another great game.
Jamar Chase with 25 and Leonard Fournette doing his thing.
Oh,
man, it's like, talk about the surprise of the year. I know, I'm not calling him a sleeper or anything like that because I know
no one predicted what he would do.
But who would have thought? Exactly.
No, nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
She beats me by a point.
That is insane, dude. So close, right? So close. And that game had playoff ramifications. Not really because of my mom's score, but still Terry needed to win to guarantee her a spot in this playoffs.
And in my defense, I put in the best that I had. You can look at my bench.
No, I don't think you did. There were no slackers. Look at your bench. Yeah. You got Austin Hooper, but how are you supposed to know? That guy's been inconsistent. You can't count on him.
15's not a lot.
Well, he would have won you the game, but you're right.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But again,
I'm always bitching about Noah Fant.
I know. I don't think you downplayed it at all. You did very straight up playing, so I appreciate that. And congrats, Terry. We'll see you in the playoffs along with Mr. Joseph.
It's an interesting story. It's an interesting story in playoffs because it is a rematch.
Well, let's get ready. Don't read ahead, Jerky.
No spoilers. No spoilers. Okay. Meaty Haunches, like I've said all year, has maybe the best team. No, I'm going to say it. He has the best team, not in the playoffs. There is a team in playoffs that is 4-10. Okay, we'll get to that. Joe, I'm sorry. Patrick Mahomes, 24. Melvin Gordon, 25.
Melvin Gordon, jeez.
Yep, and then Austin and Chris Godwin, both guys over 20. Very good. And even though not highlighted, no slouches below either, other than foreskin. We've got Deontay Johnson with teens, Marvin Jones in the teens, Cole Holcomb in the teens.
Yeah, no, Packers, they were all good.
You should have highlighted Packers. That's a defense scoring 16. But how are you going to jump in over the next one? The Chiefs defense with 32 for Mama. Unbelievable. She has Kirk Cousins. You guys are playing the I could have told you this one. Kirk Cousins over Russell Wilson, that would have won the game.
Dude,
it didn't happen.
Every other week he's been outscored by Cousins, so that's not a bad play. It is in this case because with Russell, she would have won, but it wouldn't have mattered because your sister won. So it doesn't matter. Go on.
It does matter because she's getting advice from somewhere poor. And I know that there's something called CPS for kids. I believe there's a line that we can call for abuse against elders.
Elder abuse. Listen, pal, without my help and not pushing to get Cousins in there, she would have lost. She wouldn't have even had a chance in the playoffs. So suck on that.
Okay, well, her running backs leave a lot to be desired. Nick Chubb. Okay,
let's move on to the next. Yes.
Wait,
even in a week, it didn't matter.
We didn't even talk about Mama's team or the score.
Let's move on.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, I guess we're moving on. Hail Satan squeaks out another one. What a joke. She wins against Tommy Shelby's racehorses box score here. Let's see what we've got. We've got Matthew. He gets, Father Time, 38.12. Dalvin Cook, 38. Good grief. Mike Evans finally shows up again, 21. And Hunter Renfro in the will never happen again category scores 32.44.
Please,
you needed this kind of performance from these people this coming week. Yes. It's not going to help you at all.
You're absolutely right.
A great call on Elijah Moore and Denzel Perryman who combined for goose egg for you.
Well, no, wait, I don't, no, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Yes, Mr. Blutarski. Listen, I can't speak to Perryman. I didn't investigate that one. But Moore, that was totally my fault. He went on the IR list Saturday night. I didn't even look at it. That's on me.
How come Todd didn't call you? Let's move on.
That's a good question, Todd. Why didn't you call me?
So Sam still on the hunt for the elusive first victory, I believe.
Yes, you're right.
Justin Herbert, though, shows up for 32.9. But oh my goodness, in the key scoring spots, not a lot to talk about. Nothing from Kine Wanawangwu, I guess. I did my best. Jamichael Hasty, Terry McLaurin.
Now, McLaurin only scored that because he got concussed and was out of the game.
And then let's call this the quad names I cannot pronounce. Nick Westbrook Ikeen. All combined for about not even 13 points. That is rough.
Rough, yeah.
And then the other one of note, I don't have them. I don't have them. Ask Mike. I don't got them. Okay, I don't have them.
Michael's hoarding the chips.
Exactly. And then the other note. Hang on, I got to respond to something.
Sweet Jesus. Don't you mark this off as time away from the office and disconnect from the tunnel?
So I had over 400 parts to classify. Sorry, folks. Very amateurish. So took okay.
Well, they can wait for you, dude.
Okay, and then I'm looking at the. So let's look at the scores. 168 for Matt. I know you wanted to hear that against 111 for Sam. Sam, your team was projected to get 114, so it's not like they didn't come with much. It's just you needed a huge day to go up against Maddie's. I guess couple of lucky guesses on the top and Tom Brady. And I do love the fact that Dalvin Cook rolls up 38. Against your Steelers. It's your own fault.
Let's move on.
Next game. All right. We've got the TV casualties.
Big win.
This
slide moved him into the playoffs.
This slide looks a lot like my
your last performance review.
My sophomore year in Foothills High School. Lots of red on here. Let's start here. Dak Prescott, ouch. Did not perform. 9.9 for Todd. Although David Montgomery, what'd you highlight that for? Is that 14?
It was one of his best scores. That's all. I didn't have a lot to work with. There's no 20s in this group.
All right.
Anyway. There's 120, and that's the Cowboys, and that's it.
It's the Cowboys who got him there. Devin White and the Cowboys get him to 122. He takes down, poor Malibu. Jeez, that is rough.
Rough
lots
week.
of red, lots of single digits, and you gotta love her continued performance from some of her defenses. Another negative week. I think this is 2 or 3 negative weeks for poor Dawn. Not that she left a lot on the bench. There's nothing. So it's going to be an interesting round because she's going. I won't spoil it. I'll wait.
Talk about this game and then let's move on.
Not much to talk about. Two very low-scoring teams.
Congrats, Todd. Good job.
Both. You're never going to remember this, but Thunder and Lightning. We had Jerome Bettis and I think it was Anthony Brooks. Don't quote me on that. But there was a run that Brooks had against Michigan where he got hit 3 times on the way to the end zone and basically got knocked out and fell over the goal line. I like to think that's how those 2 teams are going into the playoffs, knocked out and falling over.
No. You can't say that for Todd. Todd was fighting till the end. He didn't have a great score, but enough. All you got to beat's the one in front of you. So he did that. So congrats to Todd.
122. Good job, Todd. Yeah. I'm really rooting for you this week. Again, no spoilers. Love Hugs and Ice Cream ends up
this
scoring,
is what cost him the playoffs.
Ends up scoring 141, going against the Wild Poopers. Cat, well done.
Pulled it out.
As far as we know, our lone pregnant, although there's a lot of questions about you, our lone pregnant player.
Hey, don't you know today dudes can get pregnant too? Don't forget that. That's the new world we're living in. So I could be pregnant.
My doctor accused me of that yesterday, but we'll cover that later. Brandon Ayuk, 18, ODB, OBJ, 19.7, and George Kittle with a monster. Oh gosh, she can thank George Kittle for this playoff berth.
Yeah,
36.1.
36.
36.1 ends up taking down Love Hugs and Ice Cream. She gets 150.
Hard fought game, only 10 points difference.
I like this one. I like this. This is a hard fought.
Yeah, it was a good one. All right, moving on to next up is this was the bragging game. And really it's not, you can't fault Jason for losing this one in a bragging game. When Lamar goes down and TJ Watt was out during the half of the game. So
and again, no spoilers, but whoever goes against either of these 2 teams next week has a tall order. Both these teams are stacked. You could tell that just by their scores. I mean, 198.
Yes, look at those scores
against 186.
Dude, do not answer that.
I won't. Tyler Lockett with 31. KJ Osborne with 21. Mark Andrews, again, I had this guy last year. He's a stud. Last year or the year before, I can't remember. 30.5. No slouch from Stafford, who's been airing out the ball most of the season. Good to see Aaron Jones back. And I got nothing to say about Javonte Williams because I don't know much about
not shocking.
And Najee, 27 on the flip side for Jay. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I don't know why you highlighted it. It's got so much more to highlight. Cooper Kupp, 33.3, triple three. Woo! Let's call him triple threat after that.
Triple threat for sure. And look at
Alvin
his defense.
Kamara. Look at Alvin Kamara. Welcome back.
26.
He was out for a long time. Back
he was. Welcome back.
I almost submitted a trade offer for that, but I slept on it. Too late now. TJ Watt, the 2 notables on here, Lamar Jackson, TJ Watt, and the notables for their poor performance, I should say. Both those guys combined for 2 points. That's not great.
So,
but the Titans come through big, 29.004. You know what? I was going to say, you can't really count on 29 from the Titans every week. But if you look at the flip side from Lamar and what he didn't bring, these are scores that these guys are going to get. So come with your A game if you play these guys.
Bring it if you're going to play these boys. Here's the standings for the end of the season.
Let's go with the standings. Okay, in my absolute favorite division in the entire league, not a single winning record. 6-8 wins the division. 4-10 is 2 games better than you need to get to playoffs. Oh my Lord. Todd is spinning in his not so in yet grave.
So angry.
So congrats to Malibu and the Wild Poopers, Don and Kat. Well done. Sam, stay in this. Not only did you take over a poor performing team and you performed, I believe, admirably.
Yes.
You're still in a building process. This is for your dominance next year. So keep playing.
Yeah, if she wins that's right, Sam. If you win the toilet bowl, you get to pick where you draft. So if you want to draft first, middle, back end, you can draft wherever you want to. You win the consolation ladder, then you get that choice.
The dynasty starts now. Okay,
Yes.
over in Ogdenville, outside of Todd, I don't know. Maybe they're okay. Hail Satan's got 9-5. Todd, I love you. You're in at 500, 7-7. And I am very sorry, Greg. That was a tough way to miss playoffs. With such a tough fought game against Cat. But congrats to Matt and Todd for making playoffs. Let's go over to North Haverbrook, another league that I'm proud to talk about because both the teams go in the playoffs have winning records at least. Can't say that about the other two divisions, including yours. A 500 gets you in. Over in North Haverbrook, though, you need to win, and you need to win big. 10-4, best. Tied for. Well done, Kev. We'll get to that in a second. Tied for the best record in the league at 10-4. And Gentleman Fort Quarterly's with her win over me this week ends up knocking out Braille Bombers. Congrats to Jay. Great season. And Terry, way to go getting in, although at my expense, that's okay. Finally, in Springfield, another division coming strong. Winning records get you into the playoffs. We've got the halfback Mustangs, who finished very strong with a tied best record of the league at 10-4, followed by yours truly at 8-6. Congrats to the Kevins for getting in. Joe, I'm sorry. It's a tough year for the Laytons. You guys dominated in the past. Been a tough year, but keep going. Again, your win streak starts again with your number whatever pick you decide after winning the toilet bowl. Good job. Oh, look at this. Our old favorite. Again, as a reminder, this is a slide that ESPN puts together that shows where we stand today versus how they believe we stood on draft day after we drafted. And we've got the Malibu Stacy's, who they loved on draft day, not so much, dropped 8 spots to number 9. Camp Krusty, they loved me. They still sort of like me. This is how my relationships actually go. I start off well, and I'm mediocre by the time they decide to leave. The Wild Poopers on a slide as well. They thought she was at 3rd, but not her fault. She's had some injuries. She is at 11th right now. Love Hugs and Ice Cream finished 4th. Again, they're out of playoffs. They finished in 10th. Sorry, Greg. The TV Casualties was middle of the road on draft day, middle of the road now. 5th down to 8th. Couple of teams here that have climbed since draft day. Terry, Gentlemen Fort Quarterly's had you at 6th. They have you improving to 4th right now. Same with Meaty Haunches. Again, a team that I think is very underrated, especially based on their playoff berth, which they didn't get. They thought he was in 7th. They improved to 6th. Again, best team not in playoffs. Tommy Shelby. This is not Tommy Shelby's fault. They thought you were
that's all your brother. Yes.
Dead last now. And the rest of these teams are on the rise. Braille Bombers. Well done, Mama. They thought you were in 9th. Now they think you're at 7th. And you're
up 2 spots. Yep.
That's right, but not in playoffs. Sorry, Mama. Hail Satan. They thought you sucked on draft day. I thought you sucked on draft day. However, you've managed somehow to get some favorable matchups and some lucky picks that allowed you to finish at 3rd at this point in time. Halfback Mustangs, the 2nd most improved team of the league, started at 11th. They didn't like you on draft day, Kev. And I like to take some credit for this because I sort of helped push you to join in this year. So you wouldn't have been able to climb Everest without making it to base camp with the rest of us. Well done, Kevin. And the Cinderella story, worst to first. What do they know? They had Jay at 12th. Now they know he's at 1st, like the rest of us know. You can't climb any higher than 11 spots. Well done, Jay. Let's call it now Coach Manager of the Year.
For sure. With those numbers, how can you not be? Let's talk about the waiver wires today.
Why don't you do this one before I pass out?
So the waiver was wild and woolly for those still in it, for some of us. And what I found out, and this did influence some of my bidding, was that Todd is out of money. So I know he can't bid for anything. No, I know Jason still has like $32 or had it before today. So I knew I had to bid something for the guys I was wanting. That's why I bid $5 on the defense. Got it, because only Todd went out.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Did you bring your little bank bag when you made that offer?
I did business.
Did you carry around?
I had my business face on, yes. Then you got your sister beating me out for Alan Lazard, spending $5, where I only bid a measly $1. But I got Mr. Braxton Berrios, who I didn't even know until my guy went down for $2, even though Tommy Shelby wanted for $0. It says there was a race between me and Karen, but there wasn't, because I already picked up the Niners. So I'll skip that down. We'll go down to the other contested ones. Bill Sadin, I wanted Rashard Penny because he had such a good day last week, running back, and I have a revolving running back space that I can't fill with anybody who's consistent. So we're trying Mr. Penny this week. Hope it's not a bad penny. $7 too. I only could have spent $1 on him because I had no money. And then Karen from Roseville outbid his son, $12 to nothing for Taysom Hill. My cast off that I paid like $23 for that guy and then ditched. So awesome for me to waste all that money.
Yeah, the tough part is Todd finds himself in playoffs, and he's got it's a tall order with zero money. Question for you:
Sure.
Did we allow money to be included in trades?
I think so. Yeah. I think we put that caveat in there, but we're past the trading deadline. But yes, money can be part of the trade.
I understand, but that would have been interesting had we made that.
Especially if somebody has spent a bunch of it by the time you're trading, you could use that as a wedge to say, hey, here are my guys. They might not match up with you, but here's an extra $20. We'll get you over the top.
Based on your bidding, you probably still have what, like 180 still left?
$2. $2, like the movie Better Off Dead. Let's look at the playoff matchups, and then we'll jump into yours.
How exciting. Okay, we've got
2 minutes on this, then we'll get to your thing.
Okay, I won't go long. Okay, we've got the Wild Poopers going up against Karen from Roseville.
Woo!
Daddy against daughter. That's tough. Again, another family or sibling, not sibling. We have a sibling rivalry. Camp Krusty in a rematch of the last game of the season goes up against the Gentleman for Quarterlies. I have a feeling that's going to be a tight one. Then we've got Hail Satan goes against. I guess we got to call him God or Jesus because he is certainly your nemesis. More toe stomping hoping to come.
Oh, the toe stompers on deck.
And in the second mismatch of the playoffs in the first week, I'll call it Wild Poopers and Karen. We got Malibu Stacy's and Halfback Mustangs. The two ladies there, tall orders, but I'm rooting for you.
Exactly. Now I'm going to stop sharing and you're going to start sharing, right?
Yes, I can do said.
Please tell me you're ready. Please tell me you have it up already. You don't have it up already.
Up already. Yes, I do. Jackal.
Well, let's count. Well, I'm going to start timing you from now. Oh, look, it's on. Look at you. Hey, second slow clap. Very nice, Mr. Heath.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Camp Krusty versus your sister.
I got to move you over there. Okay.
I got to move you up here.
Is it okay with the up and down?
Perfect.
Okay. So in a rematch.
170 to 173. Wow.
No.
Oh, that's average. Sorry, projection 161. It's the same. It's almost the same.
Half a point. Half a point. This is going to be a good one. Terry, you don't have my same team as last week because I got Jalen Hurts back in my lineup. I fixed some bye issues, which thank goodness that's all over with.
The band is back together.
We cannot start playoffs any earlier. So I know you guys already know that, but let's not do that because buys were still causing me issues last week.
Yes.
All right. So we've got a very, very close one. It's anyone's game, Matthew.
Yes, it is. It should be an interesting matchup here. Jalen Hurts going up against Washington, who played their hearts out in that Dallas game, but just got taken down. Austin Eckler, I know it says questionable. He got injured in that game, and that's going to be a big one because if he can't start, he's kind of one of your steady guys. But that's going up against KC, which is a division matchup, so that's going to be a must-win for both those teams. That should be a big brouhaha there. Devontae Adams against Baltimore. Baltimore ailing with the Lamar injury. Will he come back? Won't he come back? Devontae Adams could have a field day against Baltimore. We will see. Josh Allen in that tough loss to Tampa Bay last week comes up against Carolina. This should be a field day for Josh Allen. He should have a huge day. That's if he runs and throws like he does. If they run the ball, that could really screw Terry. So we'll see how that goes. She could benefit from Tyreek Hill. She's got Jamar Chase. The Cincinnati needs to win after that loss last week. for their playoff bid. And Leonard Fournette going up against New Orleans, another division game, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. That's going to play a lot between myself, obviously, with all my Tampa Bay people, and Terry with her New Orleans person. So
Yeah,
this, I hope this one comes down to like last week, where it's literally separated by a point or less. It can't be any more awesome than that. So good luck to both y'all.
She's got a lot riding on that Tampa Bay New Orleans game. Honestly, if you look, she's got Fournette. She's got the Saints, which is a defense
she
that
got
might get stung. She might get stung by Brady.
Because if that pays off, it's great. But going up against Brady, you're rolling the dice right there.
That's the thing.
You're right.
That's the thing. So okay,
Right.
let me go to the next playoff game here. Wild Poopers, Karen from Roseville.
Oh, I'm hoping for this upset. I would so love Kat with her record to beat Daddy, who's dominating everyone with the score. That would be a great upset.
The line doesn't look great, Kat. I'll be honest, but you still have some work to do. I see. DeAndre Hopkins is out.
Jesus.
DeAndre Hopkins is out.
Right, okay.
And I believe she's got other people to put in.
I hope so.
As it stands now, though, they're calling this fairly one-sided for Jay. We've got a questionable for Lamar Jackson. I didn't know if he got hurt or what.
Yeah, he got hurt. He was out of the game. They had the backup going.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if he goes.
Yeah, that's going to be Jason's big question. That's why he picked up Taysom Hill, because Taysom Hill, in spite of his crappy play in 4 interception games, he's still scoring over 20 points each week. So Jason's hoping for a repeat of that. Now, what if Tampa Bay shuts him down and Jason starts him, and that's the key to his failure? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, he's not in there yet. We'll see what happens. All right. You got anything to say about this one? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. No, this one, again, you don't know who, sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. You're right about DeAndre Hopkins. He's out. He had, Arizona played a great game on Monday night, even though they lost. George Kittle had pretty much the game of his year. What will he do against Atlanta? He's questionable. I don't know the injury to him, but obviously a lot of San Francisco's luck to win that game is going to depend on George Kittle and how he does. Who else on her team is maybe going to help? God, it's thin. She has thin. Brandon Ayuk might also help in San Francisco. Maybe your Broncos defense helps. Taylor Heineke's like a flipping toss-up. He plays your Philadelphia team and Jalen Hurts. Meanwhile, like you said, Lamar is going to be a big question mark for Jason. Otherwise, he's stacked with guys that score no matter who they play. It'll be interesting to see how Calvin Kamara goes up against the Tampa Bay defense in that divisional matchup, and Deebo Samuel against Atlanta. Atlanta's been horrible. Will Deebo just roll over that? You got Mike Williams going up against Kansas City. That's another division rival. This is going to be an interesting one, because his guys are either going to go off or they might be held down in some of those division games. So he might not hit that giant 187, 187, what a terrible average. I mean, that 175 that he's projected, but we will see. I'm sure there will be tears in the family, because neither of them want to lose to the other one. So I'm rooting for Kat in this one.
You know what's really interesting too, especially on Jays, is we've got 16 weeks behind us already?
Yes, sir.
You would think these projections would be much closer to averages. They've been able to do it for 16 straight.
Yeah, right?
weeks.
Yeah. That's ESPN.
That's ESPN for you. Let's go to the next one. Fairly one-sided there.
Woo.
Oh, here we go. This one much tighter. 12 points. 12.5 points is the spread on this one. We got Tom Brady going against New Orleans. I have no idea what their defense looks like, but Terry's starting them, so that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully, Dak Prescott, the first one, whoever that imposter was, stays home. Hopefully, he kicks COVID or whatever he's got and shows up. I'm looking at his team. This one could be close. If you think about it, look at the projections and averages, especially through the main scoring spots. You guys are very, very close through the first 5-6 categories here.
Yeah, I don't take him lightly, and it's really going to hurt if Donata Foreman, who's playing against my Steelers, does well for him, because that's going to be the double knife shot to the gut. Meanwhile, he's got some other decent players. I hope the Cowboys don't roll over the Giants like they did Washington and score 30 points to give him that. We'll see how the rest of them do. Can David Montgomery do well? Can DK
What
Metcalf?
about Michael Carter? What's the situation there? It says
IR.
it
says IR, but there's points, so maybe he's coming off IR for all I know. That's all I can guess there. Meanwhile, I got a banged up Perryman there, it looks like, and I'm not 100% on Perry in that slot. I might put Mike Davis because he's been doing okay. But yeah,
the average 6.7 ain't doing it for you.
Like you said, that New Orleans game, I got 1, 2, 3 players all dependent on that. So that's going to be a heavy game for Maddie.
I'm telling
that's
you, both for you and Terry.
My fate might be tied up in that game alone.
You and Terry, I mean, that's going to be the one to watch, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And this is going to sound terribly uneducated, and I'm sure it is, but I'm paying attention to the Cowboys defense for Todd. That might come in to play here. Let's see what happens.
No, the Giants suck, and they could just roll over him. It could be a field day for your man Micah Parsons. He could have 4 or 5 interceptions in this game.
Hey, is that a stadium?
The Cowboys?
No.
Oh, Giants. No, it's open air. Open air.
Oh, that's tough. It's gonna be chilly.
I just spit on my screen.
Go ahead. It's gonna be chilly for a team that's used to playing inside. So
yes, those soft Cowboys. You see what they did last week? They brought their heated benches so their little tushies wouldn't get cold in Washington.
They're the number 3 defense this year, but
they suck.
Okay.
Move on.
And finally, let's go to the last playoff game before we go to the other bracket.
No, there are no others. Remember, we don't pay attention to the toilet bowls.
All right, we won't pay attention to it. The last matchup we'll talk about, Malibu Stacy's. Sorry, baby, you're limping in, but I hope you do better. It's this line though is tight, man. As of right now, 3 lousy points. Now she's got Kyler Murray back. I'm not sure the situation she's got going at running back. Julio, everybody's healthy at least. Look at that.
Yeah,
you don't see that often at this point in time. Over on Kev's side, projections aren't great for a team that scores a lot. I wonder what's happening there, because he scored almost 200 last week, and they're telling him he's going to score 134. That is odd. As a matter of fact, they got done beating him as of right now.
Well, again, look at some of his matchups. His players are going up against Baltimore and the Rams. I know the Rams have a good defense, so it could be like defensive matchups on some of his guys.
That's interesting.
That could be it. But yeah, I mean, Dawn, she got her full lineup with no questionables or anything on there like that. The problem with her is, other than Kyler Murray and Travis Kelce, who underperformed last week, which I know he's prone to do that because I've had him. Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of studs that are always hitting every week, right?
No,
she's hoping that she gets 2 or 3 of them to hit, and the other ones just limp in even with their average to be. And she's got to hope that Clemens has a bad day with some of his, right?
Yeah. So we got 3 very close games first week, at least as projections go. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe an upset brewing in the Devlin game, but 3 very close ones in all the rest. It's going to be exciting to watch, especially that New Orleans Tampa Bay game. Pay attention to that one. That should be fun.
Do not forget, people, there are Saturday games this week, 2 of them. So look at your lineup to see if any of your players play Saturday, if you need to make that decision beforehand. Now, there's obviously still a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And everybody normally checks for the Thursday night players. But this week there is 2 Saturday games. I think they start at like 1 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Pacific. So it's almost like a playoff game, but it's, later in the day than it would be, otherwise. So
are you gonna post this video in the group text?
Yeah, I did last time, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll do it again. I'm doing that every week so everybody can see it. Yeah,
I understand that. But what I was going to say is, could you add a little blurb about Saturday?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll say, even if they don't watch this, because not everybody does.
That's true. But I'll put it in there so if anybody reads it, that hey, don't forget there's games on Saturday too. Nice. All right. Well, listen. I will let you get back to Korea and your work that is burning up the system, I'm sure. Not to mention the missing kettle chips, which is, if you ask me,
that's the great mystery. That is the great issue at the Heath House right now.
Where
are the turtles?
There's missing some kettle chips here. So yeah, first playoff weekend. It's going to be exciting. Congrats to those who made it. Sorry those who didn't. Maybe next year's your year. Keep playing because you do get to play for your choice. So don't give up yet. And for those in the playoffs, set your lineups. I'm sure you're all going to do that. Good luck to everybody. Should be a fun weekend. I hope there's some close games. Hope it's not blowouts, just because even though blowout's fun, if you're the one blowing out, it's more fun for everybody watching as we're going along, which I know everybody will be doing. So good luck to them. Kev, take us home.
Well, before I do my
say something else.
Sign off, I want to say, according to my doctor, I may not be around to do these videos much longer, so enjoy these while I'm still doing them.
He didn't say you're going to croak tomorrow. He just said, is this the lifestyle you've chose or not?
Is it bad when your doctor says, I'm very scared for you? Is that
bad?
a bad
thing? I think you should get a second opinion. Listen, my last doc said he was very concerned. What do you say, new doc? Are you as concerned, or are you a little more?
I'm gonna keep looking for doctors until I get an
Find one that says all you need is Dr. Nick. You look great, Kev.
Yeah, Dr. Nick. That's who I need.
All right, so for Kevin E, this is Matt Dickey signing off. Kev, take us home.
Stay classy, Bone Storm.
And stay alive, Kev.
I'll try.